it was weird, I guess. That's a lot of cheese. That is a lot of cheese.
Wow. I didn't notice that she's so clear.
Oh, I don't want to trust you. I don't see anything.
You just take a piece. It's so far away.
Well, no, that's a good question. I think we can find out. The best part is about the time she walked in, I was considering closing the door shut. That would be really funny. Okay, I guess that's
Oh, who pressed the button?
Sorry, you said you were gonna start.
Oh well.
Well, you can trim it, right?
Yeah.
Did you see the thumbnail instead?
But what classes are you taking this semester?
It's my ugly face again.
MECI 102
Mm-hmm.
and Intro to Programming.
That's a new class, yeah. I'm in numerical methods right now, which is the class that's your class is taking over from. Holy shit.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start. But if you want to come up and get some cheese and crackers.
Yeah.
Another meeting got done at a very convenient time. So
Let's get cheese.
You guys want to?
Cool.
Oh, that's how it is.
Okay, so I'm gonna get started, but feel free to get up, grab snacks, all the fun stuff. So it's week 9. I think we're officially just past halfway through. It was like still kind of surviving. Most of you here. Okay. So we're gonna be doing a couple different things today. We're doing project 3x5, so 3 slides, 5 minutes. So we have 6 projects, so we're gonna go through all of them pretty quick. Just kind of an update on where all the projects are at, just so you guys know what's going on. We're also gonna be doing just a general ESW project, progress report, so you guys know what we've been up to. We're gonna talk about some of the events upcoming this weekend, and we're gonna do a little bit of a breakout, which we'll explain later. So the campus cleanup project, you can do your 3x5 first. Woo. And feel free to ask questions after each presentation.
And during presentation.
Just interrupt.
So campus cleanup project. Currently, we have considered a lot more sites, but as we've gone through the semester, we've narrowed it down to just public as a car. She's in north side of campus, just north of City Hall. Chris and I have been doing some pretty significant work. It was a car at one point. It is no longer. Pretty heavy sledge took care of that. And we're currently, just at this point, it's progressed farther than this image. But really, what's cool to see here is that a lot of the scraps have been able to take it off the side of the car. A lot of anything else like glass and other materials have already kind of dissipated, so they've already broken off. But as for the rest of the metal and the sheet, it's all kind of really rusted. So there's most of it's kind of been broken off, but there are some really big pieces that still need to be broken in half. If anybody's looking for some sledge duty, that will be provided if you're interested. So a lot of what we've been talking about, I've been talking about FMS is a lot of, well, this is my kill. We kind of, there is no roof anymore. It's kind of, we just kind of folded it back like a sardine container. And we took a selfie in the back of the seats. And the main issue with this currently is while we had most of the metal broken apart, there's still a lot of the seat cushion and glass and other kind of contaminants that are in the car that we want to kind of bag up and trash before we get the rest of the car. Because I feel like from our standpoint, much of the car is still underneath the ground or underneath all the trash. So there's a lot of like carpeting and other trash that needs to be removed. And then this whole side door is intact right now. We could blast it apart if we wanted to. And so far, we've also separated most of the wiring. We kind of put it aside in the bag. So really, we kind of broken it up into major components. Some of it still needs to be removed, and decomposed. Over the weekend, we took out most of the seat cushions and bagged them. We're still waiting for FMS approval to kind of remove those. So it really comes down to, at this point, for the project is establishing permission with FMS. Right now we have it bagged, but we're not taking it out of the woods yet. We still have to figure out the logistics with that, and that can come in time when we get that available. So there's, again, we want to not make it worse. Our main concern is that we're going to try to fix this problem and make it even worse, which I guess we could say is another problem we could fix, but that's maybe not that difficult. But so we do have kind of little growing plots where we grow our scrap after we take it from the site. We plant them in different spots by type. So we've got to move all this scrap that we have there so we can have a better idea of what we're left with. And that's why we want to get a lot of that trash over, because it's kind of covering the majority of it. So to deconstruct the remaining portion of those vehicles, and then eventually, once FMS approval, maybe we need some power tools, but so far, some sled and sledgehammer has been pretty useful, and this time for most of the car. And we're going to try to do a semi-all-day event. I know there's a lot of events going on this weekend, but any help we can get is always awesome. And this coming Saturday, I'll be here all day. It's kind of split in the middle of the day for lunch, or if you need to do something else. But I'll be here all day, so if somebody shows up at 11:30 and they want to keep going, I'm all for it. So we'll try to do as much as we can on Saturday. So I have tools and snacks and all that, and we're going to keep trying to take it apart. So we got got cool relics that we've recovered, and it's kind of cool to show off on us. We're yeah, this thing is in the woods. It's sitting there. So ideally, one thing we want to do is maybe try to piece it back together at the metal parts and see what it looks like. But yeah, that's all I got for you. So if you just.
Where are you guys meeting on Saturday?
So, every time we meet, we usually try to meet underneath Institute Hall, building right between CBET and Institute Hall, and it's called the Pipe. Yeah.
So the pipeline.
Pipeline.
Okay, cool.
So we'll be sitting out there, hanging around for 10, 20 minutes, see who shows up.
Cool.
Add right tools, gloves, clippers, sledgehammers, shovels, whatever your construction is. And yeah, it'll be a fun time. Any other questions or concerns?
I'm so sweet.
Nice to meet you. I'm the project leader for the Taproot Collective Build Day project. Let's see. So what are we doing? So we are helping the organization called the Taproot Collective to build a rainwater irrigation system for the community garden in Rochester. So this is a quote from the Taproot Collective. Our vision is a city filled with thriving neighborhoods where youth and families have equitable access to healthy local food. So their goal is to make, basically transform the city, use all the vacant land they have that's in the city to grow food rather than just have it be wasted. So what are we doing? So we are currently in the process of designing that rainwater irrigation system. So you can see in that picture right there, on the property there's that house, and then that little structure that you can see that is the greenhouse that you can see in the picture up there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have pipes going from the gutters to a collection system that would be right next to the greenhouse. You can see right there. So, and then from there, you can see distribute water to all of the garden beds. And so instead of using the city's water, which is expensive and also not very sustainable, instead they use the free and sustainable rainwater that goes on their property. So what our system, so there's two parts to this. One is for the garden water use. So in the capture, we can get half the rainfall off of the roof of the greenhouse, and also off of half the greenhouse and then half the house. And then the water from the house will go under the driveway there, and then go to the storage tanks by the greenhouse. And then from the tanks, it'll be distributed to the various garden beds in the garden. Taproot Collective has also requested that we design a system for household rainwater use, not for drinking, but for like running toilets and that sort of thing. So for that, we're going to use the other half of the house, and the pipes are going to go to a storage tank behind the house. They have behind the house, so over here, which will then be able to go into the house and provide water for the house there. So yeah, we worked on this. We also got Bill Day funding from ESWHQ, which means that we would get basically up to $2,000 to spend on this project, and we have to build it all in one day in this May. So it'll be a fun time. But yeah, that's it.
Hello everyone. So this is for water for South Sudan. So our project is about the designing a database for this organization. So all in all, we've got 5 meetings. So for this part, we have the executive director with us, and then we discuss about it. And our next one will be this one. Oh, it's so boring. We have only these and no details. No worries. I've got it covered. So during our first meeting, so we did an initialization of how we're gonna meet, and then we did our best, and we found only an hour per week. I added only because it's unfortunate, but so kind of my project mates are. So during the course of the week, we always dedicate some time in doing our homework on the overall project. So during the second time, we went through the data and then clean it, because you have to, it was really a mess, and it is still, and still it is, yes. And we've kept on cleaning it and then going forward with it. And then we started standardizing the data, meaning that in this chaos, we try to make sense of things that we've been. And then fortunately, they brought us a new form, from which we are now building the database. And then after it's done, we're going to match it exactly with the old data that we have so that it can fit in perfectly. And then the data left, we're going to find a room for them and then put them in. So right now, so everyone, we are all on the same page. And then we are developing and generating those diagrams. So during our next meeting, we'll be kind of putting, after generating those tables, we'll be labeling them and then the data types, and then start building the real database for the data. And as it goes, if the journey was not easy, the destination wouldn't be very hard. Thank you very much.
Will you explain to everyone what Water for Self-Management is using the database for?
That's a great question. So they are going to use the database for pretty much everything that we can think of. And we've even planned things that they themselves didn't even think of right now. So it is a modular system which can be expanded. So because what they concern is that they want to be able to know the wells that they've been drilling, and then the maintenances that have been taking place, and having all those informations so that they can process them, have access to it, and then make statistics and whatnot with them. I hope that answers your question. It does? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Is that any question? Okay, awesome. Thanks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you pronounce the acronym for us?
CPC SPVHC for short.
Oh, it's not like a.
Oh.
No, that'd be stupid. I'm not actually doing the first slide.
Hey guys, we're the design team. Our goal is to construct a secure spot so that homeless members of the Peace Village community will be able to charge their electronics without having to worry about their stuff getting stolen or damaged from the elements. And a good solution to this is we want to build log boxes. This was designed by Kirsten and AutoCAD. There's 6 individual boxes with hinges and a handle, so you can like pull open the box, lock your stuff inside, hence the name lockbox. Also, we want to construct a picnic table so that people will be able to sit at the same time charging their phones. So,
You might want to start with a general overview about the project. Sorry about that. So this project is we're building a pole-mounted solar panel phone charging station for a homeless shelter called Peace Village in the city of Rochester. I don't think we have a diagram of the full design. It's basically just a single pole-mounted post with a photovoltaic array on top, a little table on it with lock boxes and kind of electrical components in the ground. So if we want to start going to the electronics.
For the electronics team, we had to design all the electronic components that are going into the build. The charge controller is in the bottom right. That was one of the main things. Some design components is the available sunlight. We had to take into account the Rochester winters and the amount of power we can generate from the panel at the different times. The energy required to charge the amount of phones that will probably be at the homeless shelter, and making sure the different electrical components can withstand Rochester summers and winters. And some more design considerations is the amount of storage we'll need, battery-wise, and the efficiencies of the different components, such as the wiring and safety, making sure that no one will get shocked and that there won't start fires.
ew. Scary.
So myself and Jake, he's not here today, are on the structure team. We're basically dealing with getting the solar panel, putting it on top of the pole and making sure it stays there. So we have our current design of the kind of frame that's going to attach it shown over there. It's made out of these kind of square aluminum poles, I guess. They're all going to be welded together. So we're going to kind of attach this frame to the post with a square U-bolt at the base of the frame right here, so that the pole can go extend all the way up, and it's going to rest on a section here. There will be almost this thing of sheet metal kind of going bending downward. It'll just slide over, and you can put a bolt in it. So in terms of the solar panel itself, one of the big problems with it is the bottom of it is actually really fragile. And as this is going, it's going to be freestanding and basically a vacant lot. We're not sure what might get blown from the wind or thrown up there. So we're going to sandwich in between the solar panel and the frame a really heavy sheet of plexiglass. And that's honestly all there is for the frame. It needs to be sturdy enough to support around 50 pounds, but simple enough that it won't fall under its own weight. That being said, this Sunday, we are having a build day at the lot, where we're actually going to be digging a hole and pouring the concrete foundation for this post. So you should come. It'll be a ton of fun. There will be food and cider, right? I'm pretty sure there'll be cider. So we are going to be meeting 10:30 on Sunday, right outside of Grace Watson Hall in the parking lot out front there. Yeah, you should come. Does anyone have any questions, comments? Okay.
Alright, so we're the team for the Flower City Pickers Solar Dehydrator. So this project came about sometime before this summer, and we picked it up since that team kind of broke apart. So we have a whole new team, and so the goal is to work with the Rochester Public Market and with Flower City Pickers who works there, and they saw they were having a lot of food waste if they were getting a lot of like certain vegetables or fruits at one time. So they thought that we could build a solar dehydrator for them. Our contact for them, for Flower City Pickers, mentioned that it doesn't really, well, the goal is to get it working, but we can't, with the material we're using, we can't distribute it at the public market, so it'd really just be for like workers and for us to eat and stuff, but it still should be fully functional. And we're looking on getting it done with it this semester, but our contact for them said that it should be done by the end of the year. So just kind of like the general design that, this was the previous design that we had from this summer. That wasn't our design. But we're kind of, that has like it's like a standing design where we still have like the box frame for it, but we're gonna hang on the bus here, the blue bus. That's the Flower City Pickers bus. It doesn't move throughout the year. So we're gonna hang the box that holds all the cut fruit, vegetables in there to be dehydrated on the back of the bus, and have the coils on the top right up there to trap the heat and transfer that heat down and be blown through the container. And the way we're going to try and get that airflow is with a fan, a small fan that is powered by a solar panel. And since it should be like an educational tool for like kids and people just to get educated about food waste, we want about like 3 sides of it to be plexiglass so that you can kind of see what's going on in there. And this past Friday, we went to the Boneyard across from the B lot, and we found tubes to go from the main coils there, because those are kind of sturdy and hard to move down like we expected in the design. So we found those, and we're gonna get those down there. So that kind of was another progression that we made. And so next we have to get a solar panel and fan for the ventilation. Work from this design, general design, into CAD. So just is more accurate to what we're gonna be building. And get the rest of our building materials, like the wood and plexiglass, all finalized together and then eventually built. Any questions? Yes.
So are the coils just going to be heating air inside them with sunlight?
Yeah. The sun heats up the coils and the air inside of the coils gets heated, and that's gonna get transferred to the box.
Hey everyone, I'm Brianna, I'm part of the hydration station team. What are we doing? We're building a mobile station that allows events on campus to supply water without bottles. Because through this project, we would like to end the reign of terror from water bottle waste. Like the progress we've made. So far, we have gained approval from FMS, EHS, and sustainability. Our project will eventually be owned by sustainability, and then the transportation and maintenance will be done by FMS. And then we've also been working on design improvements. So we got our initial design from Drink Tahoe Tap, which is another initiative. And from that, we've included an emergency shutoff. We've changed the faucet placement so it would be more reasonable for our public campus events. We've included pneumatic wheels so it would be easier if it's like on rougher terrain. And we've added a curtain in the back for easy access to any of our parts. We're still finishing our build materials and we hope to be done with that very soon, as you can see. And then construction will be completed by the end of the semester. Can you see where this ice going? Because we sure can. In the end, we'll have 3 water stations that we hope any event on campus can request. And the picture doesn't show exactly what we'll be doing, but we plan on putting a tent over it so it'll be easier for hot days or if there's rain or anything. We really just wanted greater accessibility to free water and less waste. And it's all going to lead to a happy and hydrated campus. Any questions?
Where are you getting the water for this?
We're just hooking up to the campus water sources. So wherever the events are, hookups closest.
Does it require people like bring water bottles to it and they can fill up their water bottles there?
We've talked about for smaller events, possibly getting cups from food services. But for larger events, like the cone water cups, so like paper cups, I think would be a good option.
Wait, I want to first point out all the puns that we came up with. So the ones that we didn't mention. We worked very hard for it. Scotch, do you want to talk about the mystery party?
Yeah, so whether you guys know about it or not, there have been these Friday socials. But this one I have put some investment into. Anyway, it's going to be a murder mystery party. It's going to be a potluck dinner. There are 14 playable characters, one of which is a murderer. I was like thumbing through it really quick just to like see how the game works. It looks pretty awesome. So like not even I will know who the murderer is.
That's what a murderer would say.
So if you could text, Slack, email, group me, somehow get in touch with me saying that you're interested, you want to attend. It'll be this Friday, 7:30, 7-ish. It's gonna be in like 3 acts, and then there's like different like questionings after each act or during each act. But you need an RSVP to be a character. And then it's first come, first serve. If there are no more characters left, you can still have dinner with us. And we can give you a funny costume and you can pretend to be like a side culprit or something. Like you can have your own like secret side murder. But yeah, so again, this will be this Friday night. and just let me know.
So I know this is also sort of a Halloween thing. In their costumes.
So when you RSVP, I will send you the remaining characters, and then each character comes with like some tips on what you could wear. I also just have like these blank masquerade masks that you can theme to be for your character. So if you really want like low maintenance, no input on your costume, you can still have like a thing that makes you not normal. But yeah, there will be recommendations for like, if you're the cook, you should come in an apron or something like that. Yeah.
Should we bring food?
That'd be great. I'm making pasta and soup, which does not make a feast. So there's definitely other food items to flesh out the potluck.
Can we RSVP by talking to you, or do we have to text you?
No, you can just tell me, but it needs to be like a firm yes, and then I will email you about the character stuff. Yeah. Okay, cool. And
Last question. When do you need to RSVP before?
before Friday.
Okay.
Ideally before the day of the event.
So what will happen to the murder?
Well,
Very stern comment.
Bree has already RSVP'd and she's the cop. So
yeah.
she will decide.
I'll be wearing dark sunglasses, so I'll just look scary. Just give you a dirty look.
Yeah, Sierra Tango is gonna
Oh
tell
yeah.
us how to lay that law.
Gotta watch out.
Follow-up question. What will happen to the murder?
Dying,
obviously.
And then they just like lay on the ground the whole
Put
time.
them in the hole on Sunday.
Yes, perfect. Oh no. This is very suspiciously planned. We just have him digging a hole
And filling it with concrete.
right after the murder.
Hold on, this is kind of a sidetrack at this point. So you know what I was talking about the lottery?
Yeah.
So I was warned that a lot of past big lottery winners get murdered. So don't play the lottery.
Don't tell people you win if you
They
do.
get murdered by getting buried in concrete specifically.
This is very important and needs to derail the meeting for a second. Is the probability that you will get murdered after winning the lottery higher or lower than probability that you will win the lottery? Okay.
Definitely.
I'll take my chances.
We'll actually go back to meeting topics now.
Alright.
I know that's less fun.
Yeah, so let me know.
I know they already touched on this. I went to.
There's our design.
Yep.
Oh, cool. What is that?
I just added it.
So we're gonna be sending out a carpool sheet in Thursday's newsletter, so you can officially sign up. It'd be nice to know generally how many people are going, mainly because the big thing about this build day is it kind of has to be done all in one day, ideally. So the more people, the merrier. Like this is the one big event that they'll be doing. So if you can make it, definitely join us. We're gonna meet outside Grace Watson Hall, which is where Gracie's is. Like right by C Lot at 10. And the goal is to arrive there by 10:30 to get started. The tentative time we'll get back to campus is that still right?
Well, it was like meet at 10:30 to like get ready to dig at 11. So like we're meeting at 10:30.
At the site.
No, we're meeting at Grace Watson at 10:30.
Okay, that was miscommunicated earlier. Okay,
Yeah,
we're meeting at 10:30. So I'll update that. But so the event will go tentatively until 3. So on the sign up sheet, if you have something going on where like whoever's driving you, you need to get back at 2 or whatever, just put that on the sign up sheet so we know. Also, the breakfast is going to be provided by the Apple Farm, which has like the best donuts in the world, and hot cider. And there's going to be Jamela subs, so like you really can't beat that. Bring closed-toed shoes, water because there won't be any water for you to drink, and warm clothes and anything else you need. There's another list on the actual breakfast sheet.
Yep.
Did I miss anything super important that you didn't already touch on?
Bring a positive attitude
I like it.
and like frisbees and stuff. We got a whole thing set up. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, you won't be like digging a hole the whole time. Like we'll be hanging out too.
Yeah. And we're planning on this being rain or shine. We have tents and stuff, so rain or shine.
So, to go along with everyone's project updates, we have a project update, but a general ESW update of where we are today as clubs. So, I hope everyone knows our mission: designing, getting involved in projects, doing hands-on stuff like Build Day Sunday, and really spreading educational things about these projects, about what we're doing, and not just bringing ourselves together as a network to promote sustainability, but bringing the community together. So yes, we have this mission. It's pretty cool. I live by it. But to give some background, this goes all the way back to 2003 when there was a group of members who, or really a group of people at this point, RIT students who were getting involved in RIT sustainability, greening the campus, working on a climate action plan, starting to think about the future of what RIT can do, and eventually this group turned into the Constitution, which in 2012 was founded to really lay the framework for ESW at RIT. At this point, ESW National, now HQ, we're getting recognized as a founded club and chapter. It's pretty cool. So setting that groundwork includes fundraising as an important part to get any project going. And we used to do pizza sales as the main thing for that. And we've tried to work towards other ways which we can fundraise to hopefully be more sustainable for getting funds to the club so that we can do projects. 5 years ago, people had the concept for the Solar It, which has been a recurring project and something that I hope some of you have had a chance to be involved in. But we've come a long way in terms of projects, but that's always been a common theme for ESW members is doing projects, going to various conferences, doing competitions. Those have been all setting the framework for what ESW does as a chapter. And part of the competitions and conferences is a really educational and networking opportunity, not just educational for our members learning about what we're doing, but sharing that with like-minded people. And a huge turning point for a chapter was when RIT got to host the national conference, which was personally for me a huge turning point in my own involvement. So that's been what's gotten us to where we are today. The really foundation to what makes our chapter function, establishing our ground rules, what we need to do to be recognized as a club, funding to make projects happen, to make community events happen, to get our word out there, to help the word of sustainability and bring people together to put these efforts in place. So that's brought 15 years of ESW. So kudos to that.
So in those 15 years, we've tracked projects for the last 8 years, and we've gotten 26 projects started and completed. And that doesn't include our current 6 projects or the ones we're planning for next semester. 3 of the projects have been Cradle to Cradle design challenges, and twice we won Best Use of Autodesk. The last 7 years running, we've been presenting at Imagine RIT, and we're going to keep continuing that tradition. We've had 5 community collaboration projects just working with members in the community, and that was just over the last 4 years. Again, that doesn't include the ones we're doing now or the ones we're doing in the future, because that's something we're trying to ramp up a little bit. And we finally started doing a project database where we're tracking the projects that we've done. So we've really been doing a lot more projects than we have in the past.
Of course, none of that would be possible without our member involvement. So our member base has almost doubled since 2009, which we're very proud of. And this here is just fall. We're hoping spring will also push that up. It's gonna go up. And a lot of our success comes from the diversity of people and backgrounds that we bring together. Obviously, Mekis are crushing it, but we would not be able to do the things we do without everybody else. So.
And this year, we have more freshmen joining our club than ever before, which is very exciting. It means that our chapter has a really bright future.
So we've also been able to make a lot of big steps for our members. Last year, we were able to send 6 of our members to the national conference in Georgia, fully paid for. And that's mostly been possible through the revisions we've made in our constitution, so that we've been adding the sponsorship packet, which we send out to different companies that have a dedication towards sustainability. And we've raised $4,000 in the past 2 years.
So we've been doing some really cool things. What we mentioned was just a really brief snapshot, but just in the last 5 years, we've made a lot of progress between projects, involvement, volunteering events, getting involved with SEAL, and with all that, we won the Outstanding Chapter Award at the National Conference this past spring, which is awesome. That is just paving the groundwork for us to keep doing better, and that comes down to a lot of what our members do.
So we wanted to call out a few of our members who have been really dedicated over the years. Over there on the left, top left, is Gabe. He was a past president. He laid a lot of the groundwork that we're building on today. He built or led the construction of the greenhouse in the garden. He started the Constitution revisions that really helped us. Next here is Angela Gallo, a public relations officer from many years. She enabled us to create a network of people throughout Rochester and let us do a lot of the events that we do today. Next here, Andrew Lorio, another president whose focus on sustainability inspires us even today. And a lot of people who are in this room, who are not in this room, who we wanted to put everybody in this room on here, but we don't have photos of you all because that would be weird.
Thanks, LinkedIn.
Yeah, it's just, we really appreciate all of the work that you guys do.
And really highlighting continuous involvement in a variety of levels of projects, involvement in e-board. Involvement comes from every level of membership, and doing that consistently, thank you to everyone who gets involved, but especially some of these people. And, our members do a lot of awesome stuff and projects. We've all been working hard this semester, but we do a lot of other stuff too. This is a pretty brief list of the things our members are involved in outside of ESW, and it's pretty intimidating, honestly. So kudos to everyone who's uber involved, and kudos to you if you know how to chill out a little bit too. Because hopefully that means you're more focused on ESW. But that's a huge accomplishment, not just what we do in our club, but how we impact our whole campus community.
So we wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about why us on eBoard chose to be part of ESW. Personally, I know that we're facing really tough global challenges, and you guys inspire me to work towards a solution. And I hope that my position as president in some way allows you guys to do that too. I really appreciate it.
And when I got involved, I was very much a follower. I was no leader, but I had so many role models in ESW that brought me into leadership positions and kept advancing my place in here. And that really helped me become pretty much a whole new person in the last couple of years.
ESW has just been an amazing platform for you to learn how to self-start and take initiative, and you just think of something and there's other passionate, dedicated people to help you accomplish those goals. Just ESW and everything else is just a world of possibility. It's really awesome.
And Morgan's not here, but she's also working to, she has a positive impact on just our club, but she's reached out to a lot of our academics, working on courses being more sustainable and really making an impact in sustainability through our own motives. But honestly, when I first started, joined ESW, tracking attendance for this presentation, you can see my name and my 2 or 3 meeting attendance my first semester. And after going to that national conference, I was like, wow, this club's amazing. This is an awesome network of people across the country and even globally now. And getting involved in projects early on, getting hands-on experience, working with a group of people who are like-minded and have some of the same goals is so inspiring. It can be discouraging going out and working with someone who's like, what's sustainability? Like, I don't care about the environment. But working with a group of people who's motivated for that is all the more reason that I want to get involved, and I hope I can help inspire other people to do that too.
So I joined in my second year, and I really enjoyed the dynamic of the group and the different projects we got to work on. I wanted to get more involved, so I became the treasurer the next semester. And I've been doing my best to raise funds and manage the funds so that our different groups can keep working on their projects and we can send people to the conference.
So as we're going forward, we've worked hard on meetings all through the summer. We have 2 e-board meetings a week, and we want to keep the progress of our chapter going, and we hope you do too. And some of the ways we're trying to do that is still sending as many members as we can to the conference. We think that's really valuable. Having our 2nd annual banquet coming up as not just a reward to our members to see all the projects that everyone's doing, but expose you to speakers and other sustainability issues to hopefully inspire you to keep doing more. And of course, we want to stay involved in the community because not only is it in need, but it's a great support system too. There's a lot of resources in Rochester. So moving forward, that really comes down to our members. Your goals, what you want out of the club, what you want out of projects, and what your general commitment is to ESW. And on a more serious note, that commitment can be, in a way, part of being e-board.
So, bringing it all back around, part of the reason we have this presentation today is because next week is elections for e-board positions. So normally, e-board positions get elected in the spring, and then they're on e-board for a full academic year until next elections in spring. But if people go on co-op, which often happens here at RIT, we have elections in the fall, which is what we have this year. So the treasurer and internal relations positions are open for grabs. Nominations closed on Sunday, but we still want you all to be part of this process. So we're going to set up.
And also thinking about being involved in e-board in the future, because most of us are 5th years are graduating. So we want you to tell us what we can do in the spring, but also provide you information of, hey, here's kind of how our roles might work or what you can do.
So we had this kind of split up into our different specialties. So Alex is going to be talking to a table about, discussing with a table about funding, fundraising, grants, all the financial stuff. Bree will be taking spring and future project opportunities and everything that's related to project management. I will be holding a discussion about just our mission and vision as a club, our meeting format and website. Kira will be doing event planning and member and community investment. Sebastian will be doing social events and questions about his e-board position, because him and Alex, those are the 2 positions that are available.
But we do have limited time, so we'll try to split up to each table, but also always feel free to reach out to us. E-board meetings are also open to anyone who wants to come. I'm not sure if everyone knows that or if we relate that well, but we meet Mondays and Wednesdays, 12 to 1. So feel free to reach out to us if you run out of time right now.
Yeah. We only have a few minutes in here, but we'll continue the discussion out in the lobby if you have time.
With food.
With food.
And the other thing is that we're going to a table, but get up and go to the person that you're most interested in speaking with right now.
Do you want to just move outside?
Yeah,
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
It is outside.
we'll do this again, let one of us know.
Also, take food if you're not staying.